These are the pictures the Canadian government does not want the world to see.
Oh, running with the camera on it.
Seals being shot, gaffed, still alive. In Canada, it is now a criminal offence to film or even to watch a seal hunt without a permit.
No, when you're ready.
And as this undercover video shows, it is not hard to see why.
This one ain't coming.
Having all but banned seal hunting in the 1980s, the Canadian government is now actively encouraging a hunt conservationists call the largest wildlife slaughter in the world. Is this a real industry or simply a senseless slaughter? To seek an answer to that question, you must first understand the people of Canada's eastern coast, who see seal hunting as their birthright, indeed, their heritage. It is springtime, but after 4 months in suspended animation, the town of Cap-au-Mal on the Magdalen Islands is feeling the last cool breath of winter. Once a thriving town, it has now fallen on hard times. With the collapse of the cod fishing industry, unemployment now hovers between 20 and 25%. Down in the harbour, fishing boats lie rusting, and the huge conveyor belts that once teemed with fish are silent.
There's like a grey sky, like today, over the islands, and people sense that, you know, fishing is not going very well. Different businesses are closing and stuff. People are going outside the islands to find work. Help from government is going down. So the community is, I wouldn't say negative, but, you know, discussing about negative aspects of the economy.
Today, as the community gathers for Sunday Mass, they will pray for ice, for seals, and for a good killing season. There is a belief, indeed it is a doctrine here, that sealing will be the island's salvation. As the sealing season nears, the island's oldest and most celebrated sealer, Willie Labelle, observes an early morning ritual. Each day he comes to the cliffs looking for ice floes and to listen for the cry of the seal pups. For 60 years now it has been his life, and he can still recall his first hunt.
Puis mon père avait été à la chasse à l'école la journée, puis il avait été à la chasse, puis le soir il m'a dit demain si tu veux venir à nous autres, on va t'emmener à la chasse. Là j'ai été me coucher de bonhomme, j'ai pas pu dormir de la nuit. Là je voulais aller voir ça, je vais m'assister à la chasse. Ça fait que ça a été ma première journée de chasse. Ben là, cette journée-là, j'ai traîné des peaux, mais j'ai pas tué de phoque non plus. Allez, tu dis Marcel, qu'est-ce que c'est qu'à quelle place?
Back at the dock, the men talk about the latest news. It is all bad. El Niño is melting the ice. It is thin and dangerous for sealing. Willie, though, is a king here, and the men listen to him very closely. His experience accords him a great status. For these men, sealing is more than a business. It has been their rite of passage, and each has come to terms with its brutality in their own way.
J'en aurais vu un beau, là, un vrai beau phoque, là. On aurait été regardant, puis il pleura, les yeux larmes dans le... On disait, ah, celui-là, on va le laisser là, on va aller chercher un autre, on va le laisser. On est laissé plusieurs, on les voit comme ça.
If Willie is sealing's past, Ghyslain Cyr is its future. This winter, he has left his boat in the water, so he can be first out onto the ice. The trick is to arrive on the scene just as the seal pups are ready for killing.
Yeah, when they arrive at 14, 15 days. Anyway, when they arrive at 12 days, the mothers let them go, and they don't feed them anymore. And then they move out from the herd, and then that's the time to go.
Why are the little ones so good? What's good about the small seals?
But the pells, when you take a look at the leather on the pells, you get no scratch. That's a perfect leather and thin leather. If you take the old one, lots of times they get a scratch because they fight a lot and they get hurt together. They get a bite on the back and all that stuff. So that's why we take the small one.
Ghyslain's desire to be out first does not surprise anyone who knows him. He is proud of his skill as a hunter. And like many sealers, he is still bitter that sealing was stopped at all in the 1980s.
They put the ban because all the people, the activists, was down in Europe and show all bad things from us. Like we are a murderer and all that stuff. But you know, like me, if you go on the slaughterhouse for anything, it looks good.
Ghyslain believes sealing can clean up its act.
Yep.
And this year he's invested all he has in his boat and equipment.
So this is your little hut in here, is it?
Yeah.
This is your shed.
That's really on my shed. It's
Yeah?
the best place I can be in the winter.
Is that right? Listen, when did you start building this up here?
In 92.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Just before the moratorium. Yeah.
In an attempt to put it on an equal footing with other industries, sealers must now take courses in killing. And as it turns out, Ghyslain is the instructor.
But like here, we got that's what we call a haga pick.
Yeah.
That's the long stick, and that's what we use to knock the seal, to make sure it's dead.
Yeah.
To kill that with this.
So better than the gun, this here.
But the one thing is that when you get that in your hand, make sure it's not lazy to do it, because you make sure then you never miss at the first shot. The first shot is dead.
Yeah.
So you don't hurt the seals. It's just dead at the first shot with this.
Howdy up there, skipper! 6 aboard now. 6 aboard. Have a dozen aboard.
But not every sealer shares Ghyslain's professionalism.
Go ahead, boys. You net. Go ahead, boys.
In this home video shot by sealers from Newfoundland, a young sealer is given his initiation into the trade.
You fucker. Lord Jesus.
And what an initiation it is.
The hagapig. Fucking mate.
Under government guidelines, seals should be dispatched quickly and humanely. But that is not what happens here.
If any slaughterhouse worker attempted to do anything like that, they would be arrested or they would lose their job. There's no controls out here. These people do whatever they want. They torture the animals. They pull, for their own pleasure, their own amusement, and that's totally unacceptable.
Give him the knife, John. Let him calm down.
That's the only reason that they kill seals is for their own amusement. There's no money in it. It's something that their fathers did, their grandfathers did, their great-grandfathers did. They're sort of filled with these romantic notions of what a manly pursuit it is. And as one Magdalen Island sealer said, it's a chance to get away from the wife, go out drinking with the boys, and kill something.
To prevent this slaughter, and to prevent the hunter's ships from even getting to the seal's breeding grounds, Paul and a couple of friends placed themselves on the ice floes in the path of the ships.
For 20 years now, Paul Watson has devoted himself to ending the seal hunt. As this 1980s documentary shows, he's been prepared to put his body on the line. His protests paid off. Backed by Brigitte Bardot, he forced the Canadian government to ban the hunting of seal pups or whitecoats. Now under a new government initiative intended to boost the region's failing economy, the hunt is on again.
Sydney Coast Guard Radio, Sydney Coast Guard Radio. This is the Sea Shepherd, Victor 3, Romeo, Victor 2.
Sea Shepherd.
And once more Watson has returned to the Gulf of St. Lawrence, vowing to embarrass the sealers and the government.
Channel 10-6.
Roger.
Now, with less than a day left till the start of the sealing season, we have gone to find Watson and his crew. 40 kilometres out, we spot the first batch of seals. Seconds later, Paul Watson's ship. This converted fishing boat is his centre of operations. And he's invited media from around the world to witness the seal hunt firsthand. A veteran activist, he has placed the Sea Shepherd at the centre of the biggest herd of seals he can find. If the sealers want good hunting, they will have to come to him. Aware that Watson will do everything he can to disrupt the hunt, the Coast Guard is on alert.
Have they been shadowing you closely for the last few days?
The Canadian Coast Guard has an icebreaker which has been within 8 to 10 miles of us for the last 3 days. There have been numerous overflights with Department of Fisheries and Oceans airplane, and the Canadian Coast Guard helicopters are every 2 hours or so. They're over top of us.
What are they trying to tell you?
Well, they're trying to intimidate us more than anything else.
Will sealing start tomorrow? The regulations say these pups can't be killed till they begin to lose their white coats or are weaned.
And you can come down and put that around me? Yeah. Okay.
Back aboard the Sea Shepherd, Watson has donned a survival suit. Perhaps to show just how benign these creatures really are, he will go to meet them in their own element.
Yeah, this is incredible, you know, because you can get like a seal's eye view of the world. I think you can hear the crying a lot easier here.
With the cries of the babies all around us, there is a primal quality here. For now, you can only imagine what it will be like when and if the killing starts. On the island, with the hunt just hours away, word of Watson's presence has filtered through. Ghyslain Cyr, though, is unconcerned. With his gear packed and his boat ready, he spends his time repairing fishing nets. The battle lines are now well and truly drawn. The morning, though, brings no sign of Ghyslain and the sealers. A 50-knot gale will keep them in port. Watson is perturbed all the same. The storm swell has shattered the ice into countless small pieces. The plates we walked on so easily yesterday now seem to be alive. Out on the ice, the crew finds many of the pups in great danger. The hapless whitecoats can't swim yet, and if they fall into the icy water, they will drown, or worse still, be crushed.
You can do it, you can do it, you can do it,
Oh my God, don't go back in for Christ's sake.
There's a form of it.
For now, Watson and his team can only wait out the storm and survey the damage.
This is just a nightmare out here. A lot of these seals aren't going to make it if it keeps breaking up like this.
Along with his campaign director, Watson has a powerful ally in Jean-Paul de Jurieu, chief executive of a multi-million-dollar corporation. In the lead-up to the seal hunt, he's offered to pay the sealers to stay at home and to stop the killing. It's an offer, he says, that still stands.
Beyond any question of a doubt. Others have already offered, besides myself. Others have already offered and they said no. They don't make that much money. They make a few $100s. That's it. There's about 100 people involved. I mean, let's say they made $1,000 each and there's 100 people involved, okay? Well, the money the Canadian government spends subsidizing this far exceeds any money they make. Far exceeds, I think the Canadian government spends a few million subsidizing this. It's ridiculous.
This sort of talk, of course, incenses the Canadian Sealing Association. To counteract the Sea Shepherd's presence and to mark the start of the sealing season, the group has launched a new video.
Canadian seal, naturally beneficial. New and essential food and health products.
Decidedly low-tech, the video extols the virtues of products like seal meat, seal oil capsules, and fashion goods. It claims the industry will generate $100 million by the turn of the century.
I want some water in the bucket. He's fighting good now, you're not going to be able to afford to get another one, is all this.
For now, though, it's money from the Canadian taxpayer that keeps this killing industry alive. This year, the government will pay a bounty of 25 cents per kilogram on seal meat. In addition, it will supply icebreakers, helicopters and information services.
I believe it's about $7 million. It's hard to really find.
$7 million in taxpayers' money goes to
subsidize the seal hunt.
When asked to provide the total subsidy for the industry, the government refuses, preferring to talk only about how much the hunt will generate. But even here it is cautious.
I don't want to put any figure for the simple reason. I have to explain, Mark, that the hunt is conditional on the situation of the ice. If the ice is broken, it's difficult to access. We've seen in years where the total harvest was at 150,000, and we could not reach more than 60,000. It depends how many animals.
If this approach to accounting and industry development seems somewhat ad hoc, it is. It's very clear talking with the government. This hunt will go ahead whatever the price. Monday brings clear skies. The captain and the crew must be on alert.
We're right here, Captain. It looks like we're drifting south-southwest at about 3/4 of a knot.
That's good, at least we're going away from them.
Even as Watson plans his tactics, news arrives from the incoming helicopter that sealing boats are making their way through the ice.
Coast Guard ship Terror Fox, Coast Guard ship Terror Fox. Do you copy, over?
Terry Fox, there is 2 Coast Guard ships here, because that's not the Terry Fox.
Within seconds, the crew is on the bridge and the chase is on.
How many sealing boats do you think are out there?
I think there's 2 over there now.
There's just one problem, though. Between the Sea Shepherd and its quarry, there are seals, literally thousands of them. Just a gentle push from the ship will tip them into the sea.
I don't want to know about the pups when they're underneath of us.
Progress is painstakingly slow and the tension bubbles over.
Well, what the hell are they doing their job up there? Are they chatting or something?
Why aren't you doing your job?
It looks like there's a straight path here, if you can see where I'm pointing.
But differences are soon forgotten when gunshots are heard.
There's a bleeding seal right here.
It's fucking gunshot.
Well, they're just shooting them from the boats.
Now the sealing boat is in clear view. Watson has decided, though, to stand off a legal distance and send a party out on foot.
Well, if I took the boat in any closer, they'd seize the ship. There's no doubt about that. They would come in here with 2 icebreakers, a Sea King helicopters, mounted police, and everything. And my experience with them is they're not too gentle.
As they don their survival suits, the crew is warned what to do in case of arrest.
And they're very good in interrogation, and they're very good at asking you questions.
At this point, though, fate takes a hand. With the whitecoats sinking all around, the crew must stop to help.
Hey, Bud! Got another one over there.
In all, the rescues take less than 15 minutes, but crucial time is lost. In those moments, the Coast Guard and the sealing vessel have begun to move away, and any chance of a physical confrontation is gone.
He's killing a seal.
Yeah.
George R. Parks, this is Sea Shepherd.
Yes, sir, this is the Perks on Channel 10.
Clearly frustrated, Watson gets on the radio to needle the Coast Guard.
Are you guys running down any of those seal pups when you come through the ice at that speed? Over?
No, sir, we're not running down any seal pups. We're taking great care not to bother them. How about you?
I certainly have seen you in the past running them down and chopping them up into little bits, so that's why I'm asking you this, because I saw the John A. McDonald doing exactly that, killing hundreds of them.
Whatever, Mr. Watson. If we ran one down, it was thoroughly by accident and not necessarily
Now he's admitting it.
to do it on purpose. I've been trying to take it.
In the days that follow, Watson and his crew continue to hunt the sealers. But like the ice, for now it seems they have melted away. For now, both sides must play a waiting game.
J'aime toujours d'aller voir les troupeaux toutes les années. Il faut voir le troupeau, ça, c'était une maladie. Quand le loup-marin, le troupeau arrive autour des îles, il faut aller les voir ici.
Personally, I call them the Meganberthals, from Murder Island, really. As far as I'm concerned, the entire Magdalen Islands is an embarrassment to the rest of Canada.
Of course, when all is said and done, it may well be the warming of the planet that drives the seals finally from the Gulf of St. Lawrence. For in this struggle, as in so many others, the last word is always with Mother Nature.